This is a DJI FPV drone. Now, I've flown one of these things before, and I ended up crashing in that tree right over there. It was a buddy of mine's, and he let me try it out. Well, I ended up buying him some new props, and then probably about a year later, I decided maybe he'll sell it to me. You know, I've already put some damage into it. Well, I got in touch with him, and he said he'd already sold this. He bought it when he first came out, and he was already getting off of it. And I'm like, well, what did you get instead? And he's like, I got the new Avata. Well, I checked out the specs, compared this one with the Avata, and they're both great aircraft. It's just, like, I really want the zip and power of this platform right here. Now, the Avata is great. I mean, if you want to do, like, close to people, you really want to be able to bounce off of things. This is not made for that. This craft is actually quite fragile, as I learned a year ago with my buddies. So this one's mine, and this is the first time I'm flying it. So let's hope I have a better chance with my own. I hear they're not too expensive to repair, and I crashed my Mavic Air 2, and it was about 150 bucks. About 3 weeks later, I got it back in the mail, brand new. So I've been flying around my second Air 2 for over 4 years now, almost 5. And I'm feeling pretty confident about my piloting skills, but I've always wanted to be like Superman and just first person fly at top speeds. And this will do it. I've already flown it before, and it's exactly what I wanted. So I just got one of these, and I'm ready to fly. So let's go up. Now, for safety reasons, this thing won't fly unless it knows where the goggles are. So to know where the goggles are, you have to plug it in to your phone, or in my case, my tablet, for it to get a GPS setting on where this thing is. Once that's plugged in, then I can take off. This is the power cable. It goes in my pocket. Over there. And there's the craft. Now, I just put a card in it. I've already flown this thing, and I'm super nervous. And it was so bad that, like, I'm sitting there on the controller, which I had to calibrate for video game settings. When I turned it on, it was set to standard drone settings. Like, everything was backwards for me and upside down. Anyway, now that I've set this thing to Xbox PSP controller settings, it's just like a first-person controller game, right? So while I'm flying around, though, I was noticing that I was just nervous, and I think maybe the controllers on this thing are a lot looser than your other DJI Mavic controllers, like the Air 2. Maybe there's a spring that I can tighten up in here to make it return to center for me, because I am totally not ready to go full manual and just whip around and do stuff. I've only flown around in normal mode so far, and I'm going to take it up again, use the rest of this battery. I think I've got maybe 10 more minutes, and or less, lots less. And then maybe I'll switch into sports mode and fly around a bit. But not going to go to manual mode anytime soon. So I'm going to bring it up in the air first without the goggles on, and then go goggles on and fly around. While you're flying and this thing starts yawing left and right, you feel motion sickness. Well, I do anyway. Like, it's not the three-way gimbal stabilization. So when you bank, you feel it. I mean, you definitely want to tilt your head. You feel like you need to tilt your head. It helps a little. What I like about this one is, like right now I'm doing 30 miles an hour, which is supposed to be top speed for normal mode. And you can turn this thing on a dime. Like, it will whip. You can't do that with the Air 2. And it's really fun. I mean, it's very nimble. And it climbs like crazy, like really fast. You know, I was kind of thinking it would like nose down when you went down and like nose up when you went up. But I think that's because this is just in normal mode. And control like that, axis control like that, just isn't included in this setting. Right now, all of the safety settings are on the sensors, and I've already flown it close to the ground just to kind of get a sense of speed, and it stopped. Like, it didn't stop, it slowed down. My screen turned orange around the edges and red, and it's doing it now. Yeah, if you get too close to the ground with this thing, the safety sensors kick in, and it's not letting you go any further. So I'm going to bring it back. Yeah, I'm already too close to the ground. It's already slowing down and stopping. So I've tried out the air brake. Yeah, like turning this thing, like I'm getting a wobble on the stick, and that's because my thumb keeps wobbling. Alright, so it's about the height that I was when I started. I'm getting all kinds of warning messages in the goggles. Red and orange because I'm close to myself and the ground. So 4 minutes left on this first battery, and I'm gonna switch it up to sports mode. So obstacle avoidance is unavailable. And I'll just go ahead and put stick forward. My gosh. 60 miles an hour. Easy. I mean, it's so fast. Whoa, whoa. Okay, I'm getting a low battery returning to home already. Like, just that thrust to go home ate the battery enough. Okay, press brake button to cancel. It was going into return home mode, which is fine. So it was starting to climb, and then it gave me the message saying, go ahead and hit brake if you want to stop, return to home, which is fine. Okay, I'm going to switch it back into normal mode, so all my sensors and stuff are on again. So I'm not going to crash while I'm trying to land this thing. And then I'm just going to turn back around and see how close I can get before I go ahead and land it. When I turned sports mode on and hit the joystick forward, it just took off. Like, it screamed. And I mean, I was 0 to 60 in just a couple of seconds, and already to the school in the distance, and climbing over the roof, cutting back around, and then the return home thing turned on, because just in that amount of thrust right there to get that far, it ate up a lot of battery. So I can see why people aren't getting the 20 minutes. No, they're not getting 20 minutes. They're getting more like 8. And that's because, you know, blasting off with that thing like that, it probably eats like 5% off 100% battery. So I'm going to slap another battery in this thing and see if I can get some more footage. And the other thing is the mosquitoes are eating me alive.